Havenites, it's Thursday night. It's January. It's just before the Snowpocalypse or the Icemageddon or whatever we want to call it. They're both coming, so stick around because we'll talk about it. And I'm sure it will be informative. So temperatures are dropping, precipitation is coming. All of those things are supposed to land us into an event where we may have ice covering everything. We've been through that before. That's not uncommon around here. But wherever you are, if you're in the path of the storm, if you're going to get frozen in, snowed in, iced in, pick your poison, whatever kind of thing that leads you to get stuck at home, um, you're going to need some good comics to read. And so, what the heck? Let's talk about that. What do you think? Uh-oh.
All right. I was over that pretty quick. Dude, where's everybody at?
We had 3 people and they just right out. So I don't know. They pieced out.
They probably went to buy milk and bread.
And eggs.
Yeah, and eggs.
Because you have to make French toast whenever there's bad weather.
Oh, of course. Yeah, people always panic around here when it comes to the weather, no matter what the weather is. I mean, it could literally be sprinkling and people will panic. And yeah. I understand, yes, we all went through April 27th together. I understand why people get a little tore up once they start talking about the naders and stuff.
Yep.
But, I mean, come on. It's just snow and ice. There's no point in panicking.
Just don't go out.
Yeah. I mean, if you got to go out, yeah, there's some people that have got to go out. But, I mean, my favorite is when you start seeing these people screaming online, but I've got to go to work. No, if your boss can't make it, you can't make it.
Yeah. Also, you get the looky-loos who are always the problem, right? They're like, I want to go out and see the snow and the ice. And then the next thing you know, they're in a ditch. And I liked the one year, I don't know if you remember, forget which news station it was, had set up a camera on 565 out there close to the airport. And they were just watching people hit the same patch of ice and off the side of the road, off the side of the road. I'm like, maybe that's not cool.
Yeah, maybe you should be doing a little bit better yet. Just stay home, like you said earlier.
Yeah. Yeah. If you don't know how to drive in the weather, if you don't have the, you don't have chains for your tires, you don't have the things necessary to drive in the weather, don't drive in the weather. It's pretty simple.
Yep. I mean, unless it is a medical emergency, there is no reason whatsoever for you to be out and about.
Yep.
Enjoy your day at the house in your PJs.
Film Age Studios have not seen you in forever.
Where have you been?
Yeah, where have you been? Hope all is well.
Where you been? What you been doing? Who you been doing it with?
Yeah, all good information.
Yep.
And what's up, Mike? How's things? Actually, just reminded me something about the way you said all that. I've got a friend who took a picture. I mean, he's a couple of years older than we are. Hair is going gray. He's got 2 earrings in this ear. And he's now got glasses that are a little bit on the Dame Edna side. Not quite like that, but just a smidge. And he posted a picture of himself the other day because he had cropped himself out of another photo. So he was just like right here, zooming on the face. And I swear to goodness, he looked like the church lady. So I, of course, did what any good friend would do. I posted a GIF of the church lady in the comments. And I think he's mad at me now. And all I can think of, well, isn't that special?
I've pretty much decided that if I want to run someone out of my life, the best way, the easiest way to make someone mad would be just to invite them to some of our group chats that we have going by text message.
Lord, that would do it.
Because some of our group chats,
so fast.
Whew, yeah,
I couldn't help that one today. I felt bad, but I couldn't help it. It's like just left the door wide open, so I had to walk through it.
Yeah, that one was a pretty good one. In fact, I saw that one, was like, I'm just staying out of this one. I'm going to let them have their moment on this one.
Well, I got something to show off because I just got this. It's a couple weeks late because I wasn't able to get out and hang out with my family on my birthday. But I just got a birthday present that I would like to show off to you folks. So, embiggen me.
Let's see what you got going on.
My older brother has started doing something useful with his time. And he made me this for my birthday, which makes a lot of sense as to why he was asking me some questions that he was asking me over Christmas. I just thought maybe he had finally seen the light, but he made me this.
Oh, see, when you sent me the picture message, you didn't, when you sent it to that one group chat, you didn't show the other covers. You just showed the front of it.
No, I didn't show the whole thing. I just took the one picture, but look at that.
That is so cool. I mean, I understand 1 and 21, but any particular reason why he chose the other covers?
No.
But I didn't know if there was some. You said he was asking questions, so I don't know if there was some type of significance to you with those particular issues.
No, not really. Although he did get the first appearance of Destro on there, and I think that was the first appearance of the Dreadnoks. So, I mean, he got good ones in 27, Origin of Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow, some of that with the Softmaster, but and the Haven logo. Pa-chang!
Yeah, that is nice.
So I'm going to get him to make me some that are just the Haven logo because I can sell those. I know the guy who owns them. Owns Haven, so he's not going to get into any bootleg situation as far as making things and sell. He doesn't sell these; he just makes them for family members and whatnot. But he uses that process called sublimation, where it prints out on the and then just dupe the stuff in there. It's pretty cool. But that is rad right there, y'all. That's cool. Yeah. My brother came through. That's good stuff.
What size is that?
You know the regular water bottle I tote everywhere?
Yeah. Okay. No, that'd be a good little coffee mug.
Hey, thank you, John. I hope your Mega Man comic book was awesome. But yeah, that's pretty darn cool. That made me quite happy.
I do like that. That does look good.
Yeah, he did one for my wife. That's you know when you're at Disney World and you go through the train station or the tunnels there on either side of the from the ticket booth or whatever the turnstiles.
Yeah, when you walk underneath,
you go under the train station and then you come out onto Main Street, and you have those old attraction posters in there.
Yeah, those posters are so cool.
Yeah, he did one for her of those posters.
Oh, I bet that looks good.
It looks real good. I told her I was going to steal it. She's like, "Well, you got your own." I was like, "Yeah, I need 2."
One for each hand.
That's right. One for hot drinks and one for cold drinks.
So we have had some news-worthy items pop up the past couple of days. First and foremost, we got our first look trailer at Masters of the Universe, which I thought looked really good.
I have the power.
Definitely looking more forward to that movie now. Exquisite Corpses was optioned and picked up. It will become a movie.
Yep.
And I'm kind of hoping that it's a bunch of relative unknowns.
Oh, yeah.
Except the families themselves.
Maybe that would actually be perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe have a couple in there. And then another one that I did not know about this. Tom told me about it yesterday when I stopped by the shop. We're getting a Redcoat movie.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was posted, I believe Tom said on Instagram or something. And Jeff Johns and somebody else, they've already approved the script. which if they're that far into the process, next is going to be pre-production stuff, and they got to start looking at actors. Tom threw in his 2 cents. I threw in my 2 cents. Who do you think should play Simon Pure?
Oh, Daniel Craig, obviously.
I'm totally joking. He would definitely make a good one.
That's an absolute joke. I'm not serious.
Well, I mean, as far as the acting is concerned, I think he would make a good one. My problem is every time I see Daniel Craig now, I see the guy from Knives Out.
Yes. Doing that terrible Southern accent.
Yeah, but he was great in the third Knives Out movie. I actually liked that one a lot.
The third Knives Out movie was really good.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that's good. I did not know that. That's interesting.
So Tom's pick was Chris Hemsworth. And
you know that I say this, if he were still with us, Heath Ledger would be perfect.
Oh yeah, but believe it or not, my pick was actually Glenn Powell.
He's not British.
Well, yeah, but Chris Hemsworth wasn't Asgardian, but we believed it.
Well, Chris Hemsworth also not British, but could probably do a better accent than, I guess, Glenn Powell. Glenn Powell doesn't strike me as an accent kind of guy.
Yeah, but I mean, for authenticity's sake, you want somebody British, but I would be willing to forego the accent for a good actor.
You can't forego the accent. It's a critical part of it. He's a redcoat. I know,
he's but British. Still, I can overlook some things. And the way that Glenn Powell pulled off the smartass attitude in Top Gun Maverick, I think that he could channel some of that into Simon Pure, and it would be pretty good.
This is your Lord and Savior speaking. Yeah.
And I mean, he's definitely, as funny as it's going to sound, he has definitely got the smile that you would expect from somebody like a Simon Pure.
I'll give you that.
Yeah. So yeah, those were the 2 picks that we had come up with.
Yeah, I don't know. I suspect an unknown would probably be best in that one too.
Yeah, and my thing is, which I mean, we can kind of, wait a minute, I can't remember. I ended up mixing up my weeks again, and I've already read a couple of books from this week and some books from last week.
Did I show this off last week? I don't remember.
That was a different. No, you did not show that off last week.
In Big and Me.
Nice.
At the end of the signing, when Josh Blaylock was at the shop, several people had commissioned him to draw things, and I said, "Man, somebody else give you something to draw?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "What?" He was drawing this. So that's Gung Hogan, known as the Wall, in Disavowed. But yeah,
nice.
that was pretty cool. I thought that was very cool of him to do, with his 1776 tattoo across his chest. Yeah, Gung Hogan.
So back to a Redcoat movie right quick.
Yeah.
Okay, that is the beginning of a new universe. What characters, if any, do you introduce into that? Do you go strictly Redcoat? Do you hint at the Northerner? Do you hint at Geiger?
If it were me, I would keep it real simple and save the other stuff for a second movie.
So just basically do his origin story like the first couple of issues.
Yeah, I think that's the smart play. And I suspect what they'll do is they'll tell the story of Benedict Arnold and young Albert Einstein.
Yeah.
That's what I suspect.
That one would be a good one.
Yeah.
So, because that'll even cover how no matter what, he cannot leave the actual country.
Yep.
So, yeah, that would be a good one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would love to see, if anything, they introduced the Northerner at the end of it.
That'd be pretty cool.
So I would definitely love to see that. And which that does bring up Geiger issue 20, where we get the Northerner with Geiger. So I think we're about to get a lot more Northerner stories because of this issue, and I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that too. I think that'll be good. But let's going back real quick to the weather. If you're going to get snowed in, iced in, what's your like must-haves to make that a enjoyable experience? Other than like a warm blanket and some hot cocoa.
It really depends on the mood I'm in.
Okay.
It's either going to be comic books, a book, just a book period, or video games.
Okay. You still playing Elden Ring?
Oh yeah, I'm like full tilt on Elden Ring right now. I love that game. I had no idea that game was as big as it is. I had no idea it had as massive of a following to this day that it still has. So yeah, I'm definitely full tilt on Elden Ring. But it really just depends on the mood that I'm in that day. I mean, I've had snow days where I literally flopped down in the recliner with a stack of books, comic books like this, and read everything that I could get my hands on. I've had snow days where my day would either be reading or playing video games.
You don't go out in it? You don't want to tromp around out in the yard and
it really depends.
Build a snowman with bug or anything like that?
Well, she's gotten to that age where we go out, we throw 2 or 3 snowballs, then she's over it. It would be more of going out, finding the good snow, and making some snow cream. Fair. Now, when her and Jacob both were younger and it would snow, we would be out there until hands were numb, blood red, just having a good old time doing everything we could.
Yep.
But now it's more of that sure does look nice outside.
I don't want any footprints in my snow.
Exactly.
I get mad when neighbors let their dogs run loose across our yard, and I'm like, dang it, you ruined my snow.
Yeah, and you're like, hey, don't walk over in that side of the yard. That's going to make a good picture here in a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. All right, man. Well, what comics you got to talk about? Let's talk about some comics. Let's tell people what's what. And before we start, I will say next week is Absolute Batman number 16. I cannot wait.
Is that book any good?
I don't. That particular book, I don't know. I haven't read it yet. But I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, we've talked about it several times. I still cannot get over what's going on in the aftermarket with Absolute Batman.
It's remarkable.
I mean,
that book has caught fire. Every single issue.
Yep. And it's definitely one of those where I don't want to sell my Absolute Batman number 1, but part of me says, hey, you need to sell that Absolute Batman number 1.
See, that's the thing with me. There's never any part of me that says you should sell this book from your collection. Ever.
Yeah,
it's mine. It's mine.
Well, but see, there's other books that I need to get my grubby little hands on.
Yeah, I know. I got one at the shop.
And that's the one that, it haunts my dreams. I've got to get my hands on it.
Well, you sell whatever you need to.
And
you got to sell a kidney, you go right ahead.
So, but yeah, let's talk some comic books right quick. And I already mentioned it, and that was Geiger issue 20.
Yep.
Geiger and Northerner finally meet.
Yep.
I thought it was a really good introduction to bring the Northerner into Geiger's world. But have you ever noticed that with all time travel stories, when they see something they don't like, they're automatically, I can fix this?
Yes.
It's every single time travel story, you get the, I can fix this.
Well, time travel is kind of like the ultimate wish fulfillment, right? So that makes sense.
Yeah, and this is one of those where you know that he can't. Because if he did fix this, that negates pretty much a centerpiece of their entire universe.
Yep.
So, but yeah, Geiger is, 20 issues in, it's been rock solid, all 20 issues. There has not been a bad issue. It does make sense that they waited and Northerner has shown up now. And you can kind of see how they're going to tie him into everybody's stories. I've definitely enjoyed that. The artwork is still fantastic. Another one that we've already mentioned, and I think this one actually came out this week, and I just couldn't wait, and I had to read it now. And that's Exquisite Corpses #9.
Yep.
Have you read it yet?
No, it just came out yesterday. I haven't had a chance yet.
So they do talk about the rules of the game.
Okay.
And there are certain rules, but the rules can be exploited just because of the way they're worded.
Nice. Loophole.
And so there's a little more intrigue in this one, and there's still no guarantee who's going to be the last killer standing.
No.
That to me, that's been one thing that's been very fun about this book is we don't know. You can't even begin to figure out. You get an idea of who you think it's going to be, but then that person actually got offed in the last issue, or maybe 2 issues ago. Then you've got an idea of, okay, wait a minute, they've really hyped up this character, but now you're like, I don't know. And by the end of this issue, there's a 3rd contender that could be the winner.
Yeah.
So
I'm looking forward
really
to seeing which one that is.
Yeah, this has been really good so far, and I'm definitely excited for the movie. Next up has been, it's been exactly what you thought it would be. It's exactly what it's been since the very beginning, and it's still a solid and fun book, and that's Space Ghost issue 7. So they've kind of brought Jan and Jace's grandfather into it, almost like they might go live with him, but then some things that happen, and yeah, that's not happening now. So I'm not going to ruin that. Are you frozen? Have we lost Josh? I think we've lost Josh. Hello, Norman. Yep, we lost him. That's okay. He'll be back. We will just go on with this. I'll actually hold off on these 2 a little bit. Actually, these 4 some. He'll be back in a second. Did you just completely freeze up?
My internet just went out.
No, the ice cometh. The ice cometh.
That's right. It's my internet was getting ready for the ice.
Next up on my list, we have Aquaman issue 13. And yes, I did pick up the Nathan Zerdy cover because Mr. Zerdy is going to be at the expo this year. So I need to get him to sign this particular cover because I do like it.
Because he didn't post anything horrible and nasty that got him kicked out of the expo.
I wasn't going to say anything.
Yeah.
But it's out there.
It is. His dog and see somebody is not coming to the expo this year, which I am not happy about because I wanted to see the person I thought he was, but apparently he's not that person. So yeah, it's just as well he's not coming. But
have you read Aquaman issue 13?
I don't have that cover, so let me look and see.
It is a little bit of a KO tie-in. But we're actually dealing with Mera and everybody else while Aquaman is away.
Yes, I have read that.
That was a nice twist on who his daughter is actually going to turn out to be.
Yes, I thought that as well.
I did not see that coming on any level.
Yeah, this is the cover I got.
Yeah, this is just the when you open this cover, you actually see that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a great twist. Aquaman has, I mean, it was my pick. It was my surprise pick of the year for 2025, and
Such a great book.
Yeah, it is so good, and I never thought I would say that about an Aquaman book.
I don't know if you saw, but the next issue of Absolute Wonder Woman, and I say that because I opened this up and there's the ad for it. But Absolute Zatanna appears.
Oh yeah.
Laser beak. What's happening, Keith?
And see, I am curious, which I actually, believe it or not, I dropped Absolute Wonder Woman because it just wasn't doing it for me.
I've still been getting it, even though it's not doing it for me either.
Yeah, but I'm wondering how they're going to bring, but I will more than likely pick up that issue just to see how they bring Zatanna into it.
Yep.
Because just when I think, how do you do an absolute version of this particular character, and you go into it, and that character is amazing.
And then you get Deathstroke.
Yeah, and I mean, how do you do an absolute version of Ra's al Ghul? And not only did they do an absolute version of him, they made him probably the most brutal person on the planet.
And interestingly, they did not make him a Batman villain. They made him the Superman villain.
Yeah.
I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was great from beginning to end. So I am curious as to
what did you think of his punishment after the Battle of Smallville and what happened there? What did you think of that?
That was such a Superman thing to do.
Was it not? Superman.
It was great because in the end, Superman completely and totally broke him without ever throwing a punch.
Yep.
Without ever throwing a punch. And to me, one of the subtle things about it, which is actually in the art, is he leaves that book just out of Roz's reach every single time.
Yeah,
I thought that was like chef's kiss right there. I mean, that was perfect.
It's that, as we have said before, Absolute Batman delivers shock and spectacle, and there is substance underneath. It is a really good book. Absolute Superman, from just a purely narrative perspective, has been the better book.
Yep.
It doesn't have nearly the acclaim, the people frothing at the mouth for it, but it has been a consistent, solid, each issue building successively on the previous one. Just a great story, phenomenally well told.
Yeah, it's definitely, I mean, Absolute Batman is its own monster at this point.
Yep.
So to speak. But Absolute Superman it's just on a different level. It really is. It's been such a good book. And I'm not trying to take anything away from Absolute Batman.
No, it's amazing.
Yeah, I love that one too. But there's just been something about this Absolute Superman run. Next up, and we can spend just a minute talking about this one, because I do want to give my thoughts on this one. And there's a reason why I'm going to give certain thoughts on it. So y'all bear with me.
Okay.
That is Monster and the Wolf, issue number 2 by Mark Spears.
Yep.
So
did you only get one cover? I have to ask.
Yeah, for now I only got one cover. I am going to get that creature cover though.
That one.
But yeah, that one right there. And it is something that we've talked with Mark about. I mean, we've talked about it on this show. Yes, there has been criticism about his storytelling and how he's putting things together, and there's been criticism about editorial. And believe it, he sees all that. He's seen the comments, he's heard the complaints, and he is listening. He's taking that stuff to heart, and he's in the process of fixing a lot of that stuff. With that being said, though, issue number 2 of Monster and the Wolf, in my opinion, is the best one that he's written so far between Monsters and this.
Oh, I totally agree.
This was a really good, solid issue for the story itself.
Yep.
And yes, there are parts of it that get wordy, but it needs to be wordy. But when you have those scenes where it gets wordy, it then follows it up with several panels of no words, which I thought was a really nice touch.
Several pages in one.
Yeah, several pages. This was a good, solid issue. I like what he did with this issue.
I like one of the things he did with this that I thought was really interesting was when Frankenstein calls the creature my son. It's not just figurative; it's literal. It's true, and that's fascinating.
And I thought that was such a demented twist on the way Frankenstein was played by Dracula.
Oh, yeah.
How, yeah, I mean, and you see it. I mean, you understand how he was played by him, but the way it has to happen and where the brain actually goes.
Yep.
And how that was some pretty twisted stuff, and I thought it was really good. I thought that was a very nice touch by Mark. But as far as explaining the story through the dialogue between Dracula and Frankenstein, and I'm not talking about the monster, I'm talking about actual Dr. Frankenstein. I thought that was that was literally the best stuff that he's written to date.
Let me also say this. There's a large chunk of this issue, the vast majority of it, maybe the whole thing. Is it the whole thing? Because this is all a flashback.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the whole thing. The art of this story is all in like a black and white gray wash kind of a sepia looking thing, right? Weirdly, I think that makes it work better with his art.
Yeah.
I think his art is, and because he's so known for his like really out there color palette and how he makes all these colors work together that have no business working together. But when you put his art in this black and white kind of style, it works surprisingly well.
It feels more horror-esque, like old school horror then.
And it also feels more like an old, it has that that vintage quality that you associate with something from antiquity as opposed to something new, and it just gives that impression. It works remarkably well.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this was a great issue. I really enjoyed this issue, and I love the fact, and this was something that we had talked about a long time ago. I love the fact that with this particular issue, this cover is an actual scene in the story itself, just from a slightly different angle.
Yeah, from a different perspective.
Yeah, and I thought that was, and honestly, this is one of my favorite covers that he's ever done. And he's done some great covers, but this is a very haunting cover, especially when you read the story in this book.
Yeah,
you understand this cover even more, and this is a very dark cover. Let's just put it like that.
Yeah, his a lot of his covers, just because of the nature of them, they're portraits, right? That's a picture of a person being the person. They're not necessarily evocative of something. This one, if you didn't read the book, this one tells a story, right? There's a lot of story going on there. I really, really like this one a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'd actually, I think it was last week when I was at the shop last Friday, and I cannot remember I can picture him, but I cannot remember his name to save my life. If you're watching the show, I'm so sorry.
Who are you thinking of?
He watches the show some.
You talking about Kane?
No. It'll be one of those. It'll just come to me randomly. But we were talking about writing and everything else, and I was like, "Hey, just kind of stick with it." There's some things that he's working on, and that was actually before I read this issue.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this was a lot better. And for the people that are complaining about the story, stop complaining until you read this issue. And when I say the story, I mean the storytelling itself, not the actual story.
Yeah.
The storytelling itself. Stop complaining and go read this issue, and then come back and leave your comments and everything, and tell me what y'all think after that. Because
I would encourage everybody to do that, because he's absolutely right.
Like to know what y'all think, because I really did enjoy that particular issue.
I mean, I think Monsters is a good example of, and Mark and I have talked about this. I think you were on that conversation too. It's got such a big cast of characters and different timelines, and it's gotten a bit unwieldy. And Mark knows that, but this is what he had originally written and done. But he's learning from that, and he's going forward going to focus down on a smaller number of characters and a smaller. He's going to deal with elements of the plot and only touch the big overarching meta plot periodically, rather than hitting them all at the same level at the same time.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, if you're saying, well, the story's just kind of all over the place, Mark knows that, and he's working on that. I'll be honest with you, and I've used this analogy too. It took me 3 or 4 times before I was able to get through the first Harry Potter book, because her writing was so terrible. It was terrible. She had a good story, but her writing wasn't good. It got progressively better as she went along, but that was her first book, right? Yep. You learn from those things. And we're just now coming, and Monster and the Wolf is one of those. Mark had already written Monsters 1 through 8, right? Before the first one ever came out. So now we're getting to the ones where he's starting to apply those lessons learned. And I think we're going to see a better product from a storytelling perspective going forward. So, yeah, I think that's got a lot of validity to it.
Yeah. So, yeah, like I said, though, if that has been your hang up, I encourage you to read this issue, Monster and the Wolf, issue number 2, see what you think about it, and then, see the story, how he's doing it now, and then come back and let's have that that conversation.
I'd watch a new Phantom movie.
Oh, I got excited. I thought you was talking about Phantoms 2 with Ben Affleck.
So, I think a new Phantom movie would be great.
Oh, y'all know y'all want reindeer games too.
No.
Yes. All right. So I got 3 books left, and one of them is just a question I have to ask you, but I'll do it here in a minute.
All right.
Next up, and this book I like this book, but it was kind of weird. And I'll explain why I thought it was kind of weird here in a second. But that was G.I. Joe 324. It was a good issue. It was a fun issue. And based on, like the time that it would take to get a rocket ready and to shoot it up into space and to do all this stuff, realistically, you're thinking that, and my Batman suit would have
you'd have the Val Kilmer suit.
I'd have the Val Kilmer suit. That this particular issue, if you were to look at it in like a realistic time frame, that this would happen over the course of several hours. But why did it feel like the entire issue took place over the span of like 15 to 20 minutes? Like, oh, wait, we just got this rocket ready. We're going to shoot it right up.
Because they glossed over all the mundane parts you don't want to read.
I know, but I don't, it kind of, it wasn't a bad thing. I'm just saying that
100% the DuckTales movie is underrated.
Oh, God, yeah.
Great movie.
It just kind of, I don't know. It was just kind of weird. And it was still a good issue. I still enjoyed it. But it just felt a little weird in that aspect.
I was trying to figure out when I first saw the cover and I knew what that issue was. I was like, how in the world is this going to tie into the story he's telling? Like, we're just suddenly going to have a random space issue? Okay. I mean, I'm not against it, but how is it going to tie in? The fact that he tied it in really well I thought was great. I thought it plays perfectly with the rest of what's going on with revenge and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I thought that was really clever. And I liked the opportunity to see some of the other Joes that we don't get to see very much. Like, they're sci-fi. Yay for sci-fi. If I were a G.I. Joe guy and my code name was Payload, uh, I might fight somebody on that one. But
my only thing about sci-fi, and it was like the second I saw it, I went, come on. Sci-fi is in space.
Yep.
And there is nothing protecting this right.
No, that's a mask. It's
The
like
way,
a Power Rangers mask. If you look at it, that's not his lower face. That's actually a mask.
okay, well, see, it looks like his lower face in the panel.
If you look at the action figure that's coming out, you've got sci-fi without that and sci-fi with that, and this is a mask. It's just not blank. It's actually shaped like a face.
All right, I'll trust you this one time.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, and you did send a text message about this, and you were 100% right. I've got an idea of what direction I would love to see this go in, but we're just going to have to wait and see what they do with it. And that was the reveal at the end of G.I. Joe 17.
How awesome was that?
So here's my thoughts. Hawk has been kidnapped. There's only certain people that knows, maybe one or two that knows that this is not the real Hawk that they've been dealing with.
Yep.
None of the Joes know. This has got to be somebody way up the chain somewhere.
Yep.
And the reason why we have not seen Snake Eyes yet is because he is on a covert mission trying to find Hawk.
I would love that.
And when you bring Snake Eyes into it, it is a silent issue where he rescues Hawk.
Which I believe is what they have intended for number 21. Reading between the lines, I think that's supposed to be a silent issue. And I hope that if that's the story they tell, I'll be ecstatic.
I would love to see if they do that. And this is just the way my bizarre mind works sometimes. I would love it if they did it like that one issue of Nightwing, where everything in the silent issue will be from Snake Eyes' perspective until
2 gimmicks in one. Yeah.
Yeah, until he gets right to the point where he opens the door to get to Hawk, and then it flashes to Hawk's perspective, and you see Snake Eyes. You don't even see. You don't even see. You know that this is Snake Eyes. Everything is done from his perspective.
Well, you would see his hands and his arms.
Yeah, you would see his hands. Yeah. You would see the sword. You could possibly even see Timber. Don't know. But you don't actually see him until the final page.
That would be awesome. I'm not going to lie. That would be flat out awesome.
Every comic book company in the world needs me on retainer. I will come up
at least Marvel.
Yeah. Last one is actually more of a question for you because we've covered this book extensively. Yep. So a few weeks ago, Joe Pruitt was at the Horror Expo at in Huntsville, and I could not make it up there. It was just, a comedy of errors all day long that day.
I'm going to take it you picked up one of the books he signed at the shop the other day.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell y'all right now, if you're local to the area and you want one of these books, you got to swing by Haven to get it because there are several up there. But Joe Pruitt did sign a lot of issue 1 and issue 2 and put them on the shelves.
Yes, he did.
And right there, his right there, that's where he signed it, Joe Pruitt. But when I got it home and I went to put it with my other copy, Viking Moon is actually in white on my other copy. Is that? And I had already bagged it.
This one's the second print.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask. So this is the second print.
Yeah, first prints are sold out.
All right, nice. Because I did pick up 1 and 2, both of them signed. Even though I own 1 and 2, I wanted them signed. So I got 2 copies of each, 1 signed and 1 unsigned. And no, I'm not getting rid of any of them.
Glad to hear it.
Yeah, because this has been a fun book. Very fun book.
So, question for you: have you finally gotten around yet to reading Disavowed #1 and #2?
No, I've got, and I should have brought those with me to show them off, because when Josh Blaylock was at the shop, I got two. I got 1 and 2, but I've got the connecting covers.
Yes.
Yeah, I grabbed those, and then I grabbed another cover they had done that was like a 1 in 10 variant.
I'm going to need you to hurry up and read #1 and 2, especially #2, because there's a reveal at the end of #2 that is mind-blowing.
#3 just come out, didn't it?
It did, and I would like to talk to you about it, but since you haven't read #2 yet, I can't.
Okay, I will have them read by next week.
You must read Disavowed. So good. Let's see what else we got here. This has been an insanely busy week, so I haven't got to read a lot, but the ongoing, let's see, Alien versus Captain America, the book that has zero business being good and is not just good, it's amazing. Y'all, I love this world. This is so good. So in this issue, because at the end of the second issue, Captain America and the Howling Commandos find the village that not Red Skull, but Baron, what's his face?
Zemo?
No, not Zemo, the other one.
Von Munchausen?
No, not Munchausen, the other one. Trying to see if they talked about it here. I'm sure they mentioned his name. Anyway, his name will come to me later.
One of the best comedy movies ever made, doesn't even make the top 5 as far as I'm concerned. Cannot even touch Hot Tub Time Machine.
A surprisingly good movie, Hot Tub Time Machine.
Love that movie. I love the second one just as much. And then, so look, you've got Hot Tub Time Machine 1, and this is in no particular order, but Hot Tub Time Machine, Hot Tub Time Machine 2, so blatantly stupid, it was great.
I've never seen the second one. I didn't know there was a second one.
Oh, the second one, oh my God, there's parts of it where you're like, I shouldn't be laughing at this. I should be praying and taking a shower because I feel dirty and disgusting right now. Lou is my spirit animal. Major Pain is up there. I love that movie.
Okay.
From beginning to end. I would, oh God, 4 and 5.
There's something wrong with you if you don't put The Princess Bride in there.
But see, okay, wait a minute. Let's jump to this one then. Hot Tub Time Machine, Good Burger. No, please. Good Burger. Welcome to Good Burger. I
have to say, Good Burger was never my kind of humor. I didn't love it. I will say a movie that I would probably put in my top 5 though. Infinitely rewatchable, infinitely quotable, and that's the original Ace Ventura.
And see, I was never an Ace Ventura fan.
I think part of it is just when you see it and who you see it with and how that impacts you. But yeah, Ace Ventura, that first one cracked me up.
And I mean, honestly, if you want to see a truly hysterical movie that is probably going to, The Great
Fletch. Fletch. Oh, Fletch and Fletch Lives. Oh my Lord, those are great movies.
A movie that if y'all have never seen it, this day and age will probably be one of the most offensive movies you've ever seen in your life. Blazing Saddles.
Well, it was offensive then, and that was part of the point.
Exactly.
I think I found Captain Winky.
Oh Lord. Yeah, you definitely took us somewhere on that one. Because I mean, there are tons of great comedies, but once again, comedies are. Do what?
I said I told you it's very, very quotable. Do you have a mint? It's a very funny movie. Anyway, this is set during World War II. At the end of the second issue, they find the village of people that Hydra had essentially experimented on with facehuggers and xenomorphs. And then they all get killed. All of the Howling Commandos, because they're in the middle of a whole bunch of xenomorphs. And then this Deus Ex Machina shows up, and who is it except Captain Marvel in his original suit? Because before they ever got to Earth, the aliens decimated the Kree. And they did so because before they decimated the Kree, they decimated the Skrulls. Picture xenomorphs having gestated inside of the shape-shifting Skrulls.
Okay.
How unstoppable would they be?
I do like that concept.
Then picture the Kree with the Supreme Intelligence, and picture a chest burster coming out of the middle of the Supreme Intelligence's face, because all he is a giant head, right? So the Skrulls are gone, the Kree are gone. Captain Marvel has only got a handful of his people left, and he has made it his mission to track down these xenomorphs wherever they are, wherever they go, and to kill them. So now he is on Earth helping Captain America to fight Hydra and these xenomorphs, when suddenly you get a rain of Nazi xenomorphs dropping out of the sky, because they just dropped them out of like a bunch of bombers out of the back of a plane.
So is this done by the same team that did Avengers versus Aliens?
No.
Okay.
No, not at all.
I enjoyed Avengers versus Aliens simply because it was that was actually kind of a depressing book. Like, all hope is lost.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, from beginning to end.
Yeah, and I was kind of, when you told me about, and I'm not reading Captain America versus Aliens.
Why is that a mistake? This is so good.
Because in my mind, if you drop that
Baron von Strucker.
Okay, if you drop that many xenomorphs, Captain America doesn't stand a chance.
Well, it's not just him. It's also Captain Marvel and the Kree and all that stuff. But then there's a reveal at the end of this issue that is truly horrible. I mean, like, truly, truly horrible. And since you're not reading it, I guess I'll share it. Anybody who is reading this and has not caught up, avert your eyes for a minute. But somebody has done something with their consciousness and their genetic code and stuff, and they have merged two things into one thing, and that is this.
Now, that's pretty sick looking right there. I like that.
Yeah, that is horrifying. But this issue, we're 3 issues in, every single issue has been outstanding. Strongly recommend this book. When the trade comes out, you have to read this story. Okay. And then you'll kick yourself and say, why didn't I buy this series?
I'll check out the trade. To answer this question right quick, no, I'm not hanging out in Dagobah because it just looks humid there, and I get enough humidity here.
It is humid there. Yeah. And I bet you all the snakes are poisonous.
And then this one right here, I don't know if I would team up with anybody. I would just kind of like hop around and do frog stuff because I'm a 5,000-foot frog. Nobody can stop me.
No doubt. The next question is an interesting one. If I'm Hannibal and I still have the van, but I don't have Face or Murdoch or B.A. Baracus, who else do I pull in for my team? I think an obvious one there is going to be MacGyver. For sure.
Fall Guy.
Yep. And how about Jan Vincent from Airwolf to fly the helicopters and fly them around?
Or do you go old school and pull in Jim Rockford?
Now you've already got Hannibal's the old guy of the team. We don't need to go old school and pull in Jim Rockford.
Right.
I'd pull in Airwolf.
Yeah.
I think we assembled that team pretty quick. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
That's what you get when you get your bunch of nerds.
MacGyver, Johnny. Oh, Remo Williams. God, I wish they would have made sequels to that movie. I really do. I loved Remo Williams. Honestly, I'm not reading any of the Black, White, and Bloods because they kind of started disappointing me. How was that one?
Well, I'll tell you why I picked this one up. There's two reasons. Let me see if I can zoom in over here.
All right.
You see Kubert and Hama.
Yep.
Larry Hama's run on Wolverine was a phenomenal run in comics. That was a very successful series. And then you've got one of the stories has art by Adam Kubert. And frankly, the story that Larry Hama tells in this one, which is in the Weapon X time period, and it's a black. Obviously, it's just like the rest of the book. It's black, white, and red, but it's a good story, and it's very, very Larry Hama. I loved it. There was not a disappointing story in this. I was very pleased with this.
Yeah.
So yeah, anytime that you get Larry Hama writing Wolverine, I'm going to be happy. Let's see, we already talked G.I. Joe, we talked Geiger. Have you read this one?
No, I have not.
For shame, sir.
Believe it or not, I have not read any of the actual KO books themselves. I've been reading all the side stories.
That is such a colossal mistake. This is so good. This is so very good. And this one, the whole KO thing started, the first issue. You've got like Bruce and Selena and Clark and Lois and somebody else. They're like playing a board game featuring themselves on the board. And it just kind of felt surreal. Well, this one revisits that. And now you know why that's what was happening. And it's pretty impressive. But holy smokes, these guys have thought through why certain things need to happen and what's going on. But I'm going to show you, again, avert your eyes, people, if you don't want to be shocked by the reveal. This is the last page of this story.
And that's issue 3?
Yep.
So I wonder how he's controlling them.
It's interesting. It's interesting. But what's especially interesting about it is, like we all assumed when they first came out with the brackets for this, and Batman was one of the original fighters, we assumed that meant regular Batman. It didn't. It means absolute Batman. That was very interesting. That was clever.
I'm not sure on the actual when it was released, but I'm going to say, at least to me, it was the first time seeing Spider-Man swing through the city, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
I would agree. I think that was 2001, though.
So we missed it by a year.
So let's see. Best thing of any comic book movie made from 1970 to 2000. Pretty much pick any scene out of Blade, and you automatically win that. Because Blade was pre-2000. Also, Men in Black, based on a comic book.
Yep.
Of course, you also have the 1989 Batman. Yeah, there's a lot you could choose from.
Wait a minute. I need to see when this actually came out. Because there was one scene that I really enjoyed, but I enjoyed it because it was so blatantly stupid.
Which movie?
The Losers.
Oh, The Losers was well after 2000, dude.
Yeah, that come out in 2010.
Well after. That was a great movie, though. That was essentially a Vertigo version of the A-Team.
Yep.
We talked about this last week, I think.
Did we? Wait a minute. What happened in that issue?
Maybe we didn't.
Because didn't it? I thought that one come out this week.
You're right. We talked about number 2 last week or the week before.
Yep.
Yep. You're just going to want to read it. You know that. And then Exquisite Corpses. I haven't read this one yet. It's on the pile, but I haven't read it yet. But Invincible Woman.
I've got that one on the pile at home to read too.
Yeah, looking good, looking good. And then we have, and surprisingly, we sold out of this one within an hour of opening on Wednesday. I was not expecting that at all. But Inglorious X-Force, number 1.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so
you've got Cable, Archangel, Helverine. I forget who that is in the background. And Boom Boom, of all people.
I mean, that's definitely an interesting lineup, but I wonder what made that such a hot commodity all of a sudden.
I don't know, but it sold out in less than an hour, and I had to place a reorder for it, and I couldn't get cover A in the reorders because every cover except for one was already sold out by 1 o'clock on Wednesday at the distributor.
Wow.
Yeah, it's already going back to a second print. So what in the world's going on there? I don't know.
Have you read it?
Not yet.
Okay.
I just picked it up because I thought, it looks good. Tim Seeley's writing it. I'll be curious to see what he has to say. And I've always liked the idea of Cable better than I like Cable himself, but I'm willing to give it a shot. And so, no, I have not read it yet, but it features Miss Marvel pretty heavily. And that's Aaron's, possibly his favorite character of all is Miss Marvel. And he definitely was not on the list for this, so I'm going to have to make sure that he gets it, especially when they refer to her at some point as President Kamala Khan.
If you ordered enough, stick a copy in my box because I'm kind of interested in seeing what the hype is all about because I've been pretty down on X titles for the past few years.
Yeah. So I'm just going to read you this one little bit. She's walking away after she gives Cable a piece of her mind. She's walking away, and he says, President Kamala Khan. And she says, what? And Boom Boom turns around and says, yeah, what? And he says, in the future, you'll be the first mutant president of the United States.
All right. Acres, I don't think that's two good movies to say which is better because
they're totally different movies.
Totally different movies. In the Line of Fire, that's one where Clint Eastwood goes back to be the Secret Service agent, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that was so good. John Malkovich was creepy in that.
He was terrifying. And then Space Cowboys, what a fantastic movie. Being from Huntsville and as familiar with the space program and everything as we are, that one feels really true to life, Yeah,
and Space Cowboys to me was actually a very sad movie.
It absolutely was. I mean, it wasn't like sad as in it shouldn't have happened that way.
Yeah.
But it was melancholy. It was bittersweet.
Yeah.
Like it was poetic and it was appropriate. It just wasn't happy.
Yeah.
But I love the bit where he has to take the eye exam and he just had to memorize the eye chart there. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
I went to space camp. Funny story, actually. Just started my senior year in high school. It was still September, so we hadn't been in school very long. And they come over the loudspeaker and call me to the principal's office, and I'm like, "What did I do?" And so I go down to the principal's office, and he says, "Hey, we just got a call, And a group of 10 Australians was coming to space camp, and they had to cancel last minute. So we got a call asking if we wanted to send 10 students because it was already paid for. And
nice.
if they canceled those 10 people, they didn't have enough people to run the camp that week. But since it was already paid for, I was way more subtle than that. Come on, man. Anyway, it was already paid for, so they said, well, we'll do this. So they called my school, and they said, we got 10 scholarships for kids from the school to come to space camp if you want. And they said, okay, great. And so they said, well, what's the best way to do this? Let's go with the seniors who are in the physics class. Well, that physics class only had 9 seniors in it. And so then they went to the next senior on the list who had the highest GPA, and that was me. I was the 10th person. So I got to go to space camp for free. It was pretty great.
Yeah, I never went to space camp. What is though?
Wow, I'm really I don't know where your brain comes up with this, but these questions are all fascinating. That's right. It was the main Double Dare prize. That was it. I don't know. I'd be interested in that. It's a movie I would watch.
I have a bizarre question.
Yeah.
And the only reason why I'm asking this is because it literally comes out next week, and I don't know anybody that's doing this. And I'm not trying to be a jerk because apparently there are people.
Because it comes to you naturally.
Yeah, this is just happening. Do we know anybody that still reads Savage Dragon?
No.
Because like issue 278 comes out next week.
I tell you, I ordered Savage Dragon for the longest time. The only reader we had on it at Haven for years, we had one subscriber, and that was Alex. And I kept ordering that book for like 2 years after he died because I couldn't bring myself to quit.
I mean, it's definitely closing in on a milestone. Oh,
yeah.
Hang on just a second.
Uh-oh. We lost him. Oh, Lord. He's off camera. You guys can't see him, but I still can. And he is mooning me. Good, dude. That's a lot of pressed ham, people. Oh. That's awful. So, where's your questions now? I need something to take my mind off this, Akers. What's up, Mutts and Butts? Kane, how you doing, man? Good to see you, dude. Is Cher underrated as an actress? I would say so.
And I don't think she's that great of an actress. I think she's overrated as an actress.
I do not. So if we agree to disagree. Why did you moon me just now? That was terrible.
Because it just felt so freeing, and it needed to be done.
It did not need to be done. That was a lot of pressed ham there, bud.
Yeah, that was actually the misses, and I'm going to have to cut out a few minutes earlier than what I anticipated.
Okay.
So it's you know what all I got going on this weekend, so they're deciding to cut people loose early and everything else. So
this is an easy one. What do I like more, Dangerous Minds or G.I. Jane? G.I. Jane by a long shot.
Yeah.
There's a million different versions of Dangerous Minds. One of them was Samuel L. Jackson, basketball coach, what have you. But G.I. Jane was a great movie.
Favorite action comedy scene ever? It's a relatively recent movie, and I don't know how many people have seen it, but just about every scene that The Rock and Ryan Reynolds did together in Red Notice absolutely owned me.
That was good. I agree with you. The escape from the prison was pretty great.
Yeah, I mean, just about every scene.
The movie that jumped into mind for me, for whatever reason, was Shanghai Noon.
Yep, that was a good one.
That one, and what's the other one? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Rush Hour.
Rush Hour. Yeah.
William Hurt. I'm going to go a little obscure, and a lot of people may not know that he actually did this, but I'm going to say when he did his couple of guest appearances in Doctor Who as the War Doctor.
Oh, yeah.
I thought he was fantastic for
if
the
Cher
character
had a
he was
chance to
playing.
star in a 1980s comic book movie, now we're not saying this would have been a good movie, and I definitively think it would not have been good, but I guarantee you somebody would have placed her in the role of Elektra. With that hair,
Yeah,
somebody would have made her Elektra.
either that or if they did if it was DC and they did a live action version of Livewire.
Now this right here, I would have paid money to see that.
Yep.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, because I think Miles Teller is a very, very, very talented actor.
Here's a question for you: Who, if you were going to reboot the Indiana Jones franchise and start over with somebody else as Harrison Ford, set in the 30s or 40s, who would you cast in that role? I have an answer. I don't even know the guy's name. I just know what he was in. But yeah, who would you cast in that role?
That's a really good question because I would not want to go with a relatively newer actor. I know that people would be. I would want to go with a little bit of an older actor. Maybe someone that's already in their 40s but doesn't have a baby face. Because we do have a lot of actors now that are a lot older than what they look like, even though they look like they're freaking teenagers. I don't know who I would pick for that.
I'll tell you who I'd pick.
I do know. I know who I would pick.
Like I said, I don't know the guy's name, but he was the main guy, and he already played Harrison Ford's son in the Yellowstone prequel 1923.
That's who I just thought of.
I don't know that dude's name. And I don't know if it's because he played his son there or if it was the character that he played.
He played Spencer.
Yes, he was fantastic. I would watch him because he was equally capable of like being the hero guy and also that quirky comedy that Harrison Ford brought to it.
Brandon Skeller. And he is one of the rumored people to play Batman in James Gunn's version.
Hey, Mike, you have a great one. We'll see you at the shop tomorrow, hopefully.
Yeah, no, I think he would make a good one. He's definitely got the look about him.
Miles Teller was another one that just occurred to me. He might be able to pull it off.
Yeah. But we also have actors that I like them, but I feel like they are extremely one-dimensional, and that could be because they played certain characters for so long that's just who I see when I see them now.
Yep. That's why I think somebody like what's his face that played Frodo in Lord of the Rings, or not him to some extent, but the guy who played Daniel Radcliffe, who played Harry Potter, why he immediately after Harry Potter just went out and played anything and everything. So that you could go, oh, he can be a lot of different things. He's not just Harry Potter.
If we were going with an older actor for him, I would probably go with somebody like Robert Duvall.
God, I love Robert Duvall.
Yeah. I would definitely, when you say Robert E. Lee, if they did a biopic, I would say somebody like a Robert Duvall.
I was trying to picture somebody who has the look more, and I was picturing a like from 15 or 20 years ago, Martin Sheen.
Yeah.
He could have pulled that off. Yeah, that's a good question. Well, you got to take off, and I got a couple things I need to do tonight too. So I think we'll cut it early tonight. As always, thank you everybody for tuning in. We appreciate it. It's always good to see you guys. Stay safe this weekend. If you get caught in the weather, just hang tight. It's Alabama. It won't last long. And we will catch you next time. You got any last words you want to throw out to folks?
Be careful this weekend. If you find yourselves in trouble, don't name it after me.
All right. Well, thanks everybody. We appreciate it. Y'all have a great night.